today. In other news, officials at the Pacific Nuclear Research Facility have denied the rumor that a case of missing plutonium was in fact stolen from their vault 2 weeks ago. A Libyan terrorist group had claimed responsibility for the alleged theft.
Hey, Einstein, where's the dot, boy? Huh?
Creatives, how are you? Welcome back to the Nerd Creative channel. FANHOME, Build the Back to the Future Delorean, Part 28. In this video, we'll be completing issue 54 of the build. Grab yourself a coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, with every build, they come with component parts and a magazine. Just put the parts aside and have a look in the magazine. A really good shot there of the inside of the model, with all the cabling and everything lit up. So these are the components that come in this issue. Here's the step-by-step instructions. We seem to have some more cabling. Just checking. Yeah, I think we're tying up a lot of the cabling that we've done, and we're putting this piece in the back. Yeah, it sits behind the seats there. Okay. The chase is on. We begin a close-up look at one of the most beloved sequences in Back to the Future Part 2, the hoverboard chase. Yes, batter up. Really, really, really good. Michael Jackson, who's bad? Michael Jackson was one of the biggest stars of the 1980s and is referenced several times in the Back to the Future trilogy. Was that Michael Jackson? I'm not sure it was. Left in red leather is the video for Thriller, which revolutionized the music video genre. Above, Michael Jackson styled video waiter E. Casanova Evans. So it wasn't. And then these are the components for issue 55, and then we'll look at the components on the back. So let's open up our components and make sure we've got everything that is listed here. I ain't got my scissors. Okay. Empty them out. So we've got this cylinder here. We have this base. We've got two pipes. I don't know if we've got that. Oh yeah, there. We've got the junction box there. And we have AP screws. And we have the bulkhead there, and FP screws, AP screws, FP screws. So we've got everything. So I'm just going to put the magazine aside. and put our screws away. So we've got FP screws. And AP screws. So we've got our screws, we've got our screwdrivers, we've got our components, we've got our magazine. Let's begin. So I brought our inside of our car back, because what we need to do is we need to concentrate on the back of the car here. See our coloured cables. Let me just zoom in. See our coloured cables here that are twisted. We've got to untwist them and separate them. Just got to do that. Just untwist them and then separate them out like that. As you can see there, just got to separate them out, and then we've got to put them in this piece here. This is our junction box here, there. And as you can see, it's got some holes in it. So it's got one there, it's got two there, and it's got two at the bottom. And we've got to feed these cables through. Now this could be easy or not. So I'm just going to see if I can feed. Because they're very thin, let me just see if I can feed them through. There's one. So I've fed one through. Didn't feed them through. Just going to pull it through and bend it like that, so it doesn't pull back out. And then we've got to put a black one in. One of the black ones in. It's quite fiddly. Let's just see. Just trying to get. Oops. Just trying to get it into the light so I can see. I nearly got it in then. Yeah. Let me just zoom in. I've got all the cables through there, as you can see. They're all in. That's the back. They're all pushed through now. So what we've got to do is we've got to position the bulkhead. Let me just zoom out. So see, that's the bulkhead there. You see it kind of, let me draw out a bit more. So that's the bulkhead there. You see it's kind of bent on one side there. It's bent like that there. So the way it's got to go is this bending section there that's tipping back, if you can see there, that it goes outward like that. So what you got to do is you got to feed all the cables through. Just checking. Yeah, you got to feed all the cables through. I think these cables come through this hole here, like that, and that goes through there, like that. Those cables go in like that there. So that's how it goes in place. Just trying to see if that goes through as well. Let me just check. No. So that pipe sits there, like that. Okay, there's a little groove there for that pipe to sit there. And then what we've got to do is, we've got to connect this black piece here. So I'm just going to remove that. We need to connect this black piece here onto here, there. You can see that there's a location lug and a place for a screw, so I just need to turn it around. I'm just going to squash these cables. So let's see, and it needs to go in here. Just need to line it up there. So it needs to go there, right there. And that's held in position with a AP screw. So let me just get an AP screw out and get it all lined up. This might not be easy. Just sit it there like that. Just going to put a screw in it. There, that's it. Now I'm going to feed the cables back through now that that's in place. So those cables go in there. I'm just going to check on the back to make sure where all the cables go. So these cables go over the top. This one, this one, and this one here. They go over the top like that and that. Just check it. That goes over the top. Those ones in the middle come out there, and then this one comes out of the side. It doesn't go through. Let me just unclip that. Okay, so these go over the top, and that rests in there like that, and these come out of the side like that. So that's where they go. I'm going to reclip these because I don't want them, I mean they won't separate or anything, but I'm just going to reclip them like that. Okay. What we've got to do is we've got to flip the car over. Let's see if I can do that. Like that. And then you see 1, 2, 3, 4 holes there need to correspond with these holes. Let me just a little bit fiddly, but let's see. Yeah, it's a little tight. I must say it is a little tight. Let me just see if we can. It's a little tight because it's got to go inside like that. See if I can just. So it is a little bit tight. Let me just. There it is. Doesn't seem to want to go in there, but that's where it needs to go. See how slightly out it is. I don't know what's stopping it from going in. It's just like that. Ooh. It's very tight actually. It doesn't quite fit. Let's see if we can just get it from here. It's very tight. There, that's it. It is very tight. Like it doesn't quite fit properly, but I'm just going to have to stretch it across. What I'll do is I'll put these 2 screws in first, and then I'll squash it across. So we need 4 FP screws. to attach that in place. Like that. There. I'll get this one in first. Make sure my holes are lined up. Like that. I'm going to loosely hold that in place because it's not exactly where it should be. And then get the next screw in. Oh, I can't see where my hole is, but there it is. Let's just pull the car forward so I can see. There, so it's loosely placed in. Now we need to kind of, this is the difficult bit, is to try and squeeze this there in place. There it is, it's in, and then put the screws in. Like that. And that screw in there. I think that's lined up properly. It's very hard to tell. I don't think it's properly lined up, but I can't actually see. I think that's where it's supposed to be there. Let's just roughly about, yeah, I think that's in place. Right, that's in place where it should be. Just checking that it's, yep. So I'm going to unscrew this one because this one's in the wrong place. Like that. There. I think that's where it should be. Yeah, it seems to be. Tighten that up. Just make sure it's in. Tighten this side up. And then tighten this one up, because that's in the right place. And then unscrew this one because this is not in the right place. It's not in the right position. And then let's just see if we can get it in the right position. I think that could be it there. Okay, let's just, alright, I think that's in the right position now. Oops. Yeah, there it is. There. I'm going to flip the car back over. There you can see now we've got the back of the car I'll just show you from the side there. So you've got this whole back area now in place. We've got these cables sticking up here like they're supposed to. We've got this pipe sitting in that groove there. We've got these cables at the side here where they're supposed to be. Let me just... Yeah, I can't stuff them down there now. And then we've got the cables underneath in the middle sticking out of there. So that's the way that should look. It's starting. It's becoming a whole kind of shell around the seating area. These are the pieces left in issue 54. So we've got to get this cylinder, and you see there's a hole there and a hole there. We've just got to put them up, and there's a location lug there. So we just slot that into place there, like that. As you can see, that sits in there like that. And those are held. That's held in place with 2 AP screws. Hold the 2 together and oops, feed it through. And it should stick out at the end there. It's supposed to do that. That's it. Then we've got to put these pipes in. See if you look at the bottom, they've got a circle and then a flat edge that corresponds with these. I did dry test them, and they don't actually sit in too comfortably, but they fit in with a couple of AP screws. So I'll do them one at a time. They're both the same, but they don't look any different, so it doesn't matter which one you put in first. So we'll just load up our screw and then match this into there, and then pass a screw through. Oops, that's not worked. It's quite fiddly, this. It's because it's so small. So we'll just line it up like that. Just line it up in its hole. It's not going to stay in its hole, but that's what the screw's for. Let me just... It's just... No, that's not going to work. Let's try again. See how fiddly it is? It's not really going to hold. See there, it's not really going to hold. So I can get a screw in. It's very difficult to hold. As you can see, it's kind of it's wobbly. Yeah. I wonder if I can do it this way. Kind of. No, it's very, very, very difficult to hold in place. Let me just try that angle again. Right. It's there. That's just... It's quite fiddly, but there it is. That's what it should look like when it's finished. Had to make that hole bigger because it wasn't big enough. But yeah, that's what it should look like. And then what we've got to do is, there's a cable. I brought the interior of the car back. There's a little cable here, although I don't think mine is going to reach that. See there, there's a little square there, and that fits in there like that. I'm not sure mine's going to fit though. I don't think my cable's long enough. Let me just position it in place so it sits in there like that, and then this piece sits on here. I'm just checking for which way around it goes. So you drop it down there, and then it comes over here like that, and it's supposed to sit here. Just gonna see if my holes are lining up. So that goes in that location. Like, see, no, my cable's not going to fit. I don't think my cable's going to fit. Let's just check. So it sits like that there, and my cable, let's see if I can pull my cable a little bit like that. There we go. So I'm going to fit that in there. Swap these around. I'm going to fit that cable in there, and then it sits down like that. Just feel for the location lug there, and that sits there like that, and then it holds into place with two AP screws. Which I might have to, I'm not going to be able to see. See if I can put a screw in here with my hands. Turn the car upside down again. I've got one screw in there. Let me just zoom out so you can see. There. So we get one in there like that. Doesn't seem like it's going in properly. Let's put another screw in here, like that. There. I'm going to see if I can just fit it in. That one seems to be going in. Yeah, that seems to be going in. Let me just unscrew this one and re-screw it. Okay. I'm gonna have to bring it to me so that I can add pressure to it. Just to make sure I get it in tight. And the same with this side. There. So that sits on the back there like that, there. Of all the cables coming out. As you can see, that cable is now connected to this box here. It's probably not as straight on as it should be. I don't think it's supposed to be, actually. I can see in the picture where it's a small gap here and a bigger gap here. So that. So we've got the back there. We know the flux capacitor comes back here at some point. So as you can see there, that completes issue 54 of the build. There we go. As always, we've got merch for the channel. We have our Nerd Creative range and our Stay Creative range. Links in the description. Get whatever you want. I'd like to thank you for your company. I'll see you in the next video. Stay creative.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?